Hey, what's up? My name is Grab, baby. Representing this New York City thing to the fullest. Team Bang Dope Gang on deck. And this is Real Fans, Real Talk. Respect it.
Face facts, what up, what up?
RealFansRealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds trip young and intern time for the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest, I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives, even tell a neighbor, tell him Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. RealFansRealTalk.com, I'm out one. Real fans, real talk, real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com, RealFansRealTalk.com. Real fans, real talk, real fans, real talk. RealFansRealTalk.com, RealFansRealTalk.com.
He had to grind it out overseas and the minor leagues before he finally got his big break with his hometown New York Knicks in 1991. With a blend of power and finesse, Mace became Knicks in 1991. With a blend of power and finesse, Mace became a mainstay among the burly front line that also featured Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley, and was a part of the '94 team that went all the way to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. As a valuable reserve off Pat Riley's bench, Mason earned the NBA's Sixth Man of the Year award in '95. The following year, he became a starter and point forward for new coach Don Nelson. He played all 82 games and averaged a league-high 42 minutes, and his 3,457 minutes played that season remains a franchise record. After being traded to Charlotte for Larry Johnson in '96, he led the league again in minutes with 43.1 a game. He would go on to earn third-team All-NBA and second-team All-Defense in '97 with Charlotte. He played 883 games, including one All-Star appearance in his 13-year NBA career. He amassed 9,656 points while shooting over 50% from the field. Always a fan favorite at the Garden, he will be dearly missed. Anthony Mason, once a Knick, always a Knick.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. Shout out to MSG for that video right there for the late, great Anthony Mason. You know, we usually, we'll send out our condolences and whatnot one time, but Anthony Mason was a dear friend of Real Fans, Real Talk. He's not even a friend, he's a family member. So we felt it only right to give him that just do that extra time. So once again, rest in peace to Anthony Mason. And with that being said, let me introduce my co-host to the right, the one and only, the legendary himself, Mark the Statman Skevich.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Great to be back for another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. I'm rocking my Rangers shirt today. The Rangers are in first place where they belong. Not just first place in their division, not just first place in the Eastern Conference, but tied for most points in the entire National Hockey League. So I'm excited about that. Having 99 points on the season. Not the most wins yet, but playoffs around the corner. That home ice advantage is going to come in handy come playoff time, so I'm excited about that. We got a lot to talk about today. March Madness, NBA action. But before we get into all that, of course, the one and only Sean Fontaine, fresh off yet another HDH suspension. He just doesn't learn.
Listen. Real men don't come on TV and talk about other men in sports with balls, all right? You guys are being chatty patties right now, all right?
Okay, Dame. Okay, Dame.
All right, but so I'm just happy to be here. Everybody's representing New York right now. You got your Brooklyn on. Got my Yankees. You got your Rangers. I'm just happy to be here right now,
It's a Sports Tuesday.
Hey, it's a sports. We're going to be some sports chatty patties today. How about that? All right?
Exactly, because we do got a lot of stuff that we have to get to. We do have a guest that's going to be joining us a little bit later on the program, an author. She wrote a very good book, so she's going to be joining us a little bit later. But in the meantime, You know, we got March Madness is here, and it's a lot of stuff going down. I will say this: the Real Fans Real Talk Bracket Challenge is officially going on right now. Trip Young is in first place.
Check mine right now.
You can check yours. I think you in third place. I think Statman is in second.
I got
right
like
now.
5 brackets going on, brother.
So I'm really looking forward to this weekend coming up. It's going to be a lot of craziness. Duke is still in it, all right.
Carolina,
they are still in it, all right. You know, Kentucky, they still undefeated, still ripping and running. Wisconsin has still got that #1 spot, but there's a lot going on. Sean Fontaine, who are you? I know you want North Carolina to get it, but I want your realistic answer about who is going to take this tournament.
You know, a guy with common sense would say that the Kentucky is going to win this tournament right now because they're undefeated. They're rolling right now. Everything is in their favor. But of course, I gotta keep with my Tar Heel boys, man. I gotta stay with UNC. I'm sorry, man. They scared me in that first game. You know, they barely beat Harvard. All right, I don't know why, but hey, we won. A win is a win. I'll take it.
That is your bias, though. But you know what sucks is that they got to go through
Wisconsin.
Well, they got to go through Wisconsin first, but in that side of the bracket, they're gonna have to hit up Kentucky.
You know what? In one of my mini brackets, and this is
he has about 15 of them.
Hey man, listen, it's like lottery, man. You gotta put it in where you can. You gonna win somewhere.
If they're giving $1 million prizes last year, $1 billion prizes, you're gonna put in multiple brackets. I mean,
I'm not mad at that one.
You know, I think
Real Fans Real Talk. There is only one bracket, and it's kind of neck and neck right now. Trip Young is in first place with 46 correct picks so far. Me with 33. Sean with 132. I'm right behind Trip on the points, though. He's got 170. I got 162. Sean's got 137. Did you have Villanova going far in yours?
Listen, man.
I had them out by the Sweet 16.
Like I said, I have about 5 different. I think I have like 4.
You should have put the best one in the Real Fans Real Talk. See, the thing was, we was going to do $1 million for the winner of the Real Fans Real Talk one, but we didn't want to spoil the fans. You know, that's what that was.
I mean, we might as well because nobody gets a perfect bracket. That hasn't happened.
Ironically enough, I was watching some other sports channel the other day, and they were talking about I think only 270 some odd people had a perfect bracket throughout the first round. I was one of those people. So you know, I was talking a little trash.
You did for the Real
You know what? I was talking a little trash. You're right. I was talking a little trash, but guess what? That next round came around.
That changed real fast, right? Yeah.
So hey,
I mean, you had a 1 out of 15 chance to get it.
So next year I'm going for 15 brackets. How about that?
Yo, what we gonna do with you?
Hey man, I'm all about winning, baby.
It is hard to go up against Kentucky. I mean, undefeated. They haven't played Duke yet this season. I know Trip Young's bias is with Duke.
You know that.
I do have North Carolina in the Final Four, but I don't think that they're going to get past Kentucky. I'm sorry, Sean, but I have Louisville in the Final Four as well. That's a team that a lot of people are sleeping on because of their record this season. But Rick Pitino and that full court press defense, very defensive-minded coach, really practiced on offense before the last game to get his team going. I think with his coaching experience, they'll be able to make the Final Four. It's going to be the Tom Izzo, Michigan State, they're going to have to go through them most likely in the Elite Eight. They're only in the Sweet 16 now, but I see that matching up in the Elite Eight. I see, Kentucky and Duke definitely in the Final Four, and I do see, North Carolina going through both Wisconsin and Arizona, which is a tough feat to accomplish, but I do see them making the Final Four, so you'll at least get those points.
You know what?
But afterwards, the party's over.
On the flip side, a little fun fact, Hampton's coach, he was my work study coach, work study teacher back when I was in school or whatever. So, I had to have a bracket with Coach, we called him Coach Buck in school or whatever.
Okay.
And his father, the gym is dedicated to him or whatever. But I had to have a little bit of hope in Coach Buck and Hampton, even though we know they wasn't going to beat Kentucky.
I was at homecoming a couple of years ago, so I give him a little support, but I didn't think anything was going to happen there.
Hey, man, Coach Buck looked out on my work study. I appreciate that money, brother.
There's a lot going on, and like you did say, Villanova is the first #1 seed
to get knocked out.
Yep. Myself, Statman, we didn't have them going that far in the tournament. Anyway, I kind of picked them to be the first #1 seed that exits from the tournament.
That wasn't actually actual question on last week's episode of Real Fans Real Talk. You asked which would be the first to go, Wisconsin or Villanova. I went with Villanova, and I just think they were overrated, and it showed early in the tournament.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, none of the home teams able to advance very far. We didn't really expect too much from them. Manhattan College couldn't even get into the round of 64, which they consider round
New York,
2.
Big city of dreams. We got to keep dreaming.
St. John's?
They should call it a qualifying round, because it's so weird when they say eliminated in round 2. It's their first game. How are people eliminated in round 2? Like,
Well, they made it. At least they made it. They made it around.
well, no, I'm saying when other teams do it, but I mean, like, well, St. John's, another home team, high hope, not too much high hopes for them, but they lost as expected.
Listen, it is what it is, man. Maybe next year, as they say, maybe next year.
Hey.
We're just hoping for a home team to get to
I don't
the
even-
second, the real second round, meaning the third round
Listen,
nowadays.
I'm still. I know Syracuse is upstate, but I'm gonna still take credit for the Syracuse
Okay.
championship win back. When
I always
Carmelo
consider
played.
that my home
back in
team.
03.
That's the home team. That's the New York team. You know that counts for me. So I'm going with that. Now I want to go to Coach Rick Pitino, who feels like there should not be an age limit in regards to players going straight from high school to the pros. I know we've spoken about that before. We kind of all agreed that if the players want to go, then they should be able to go. But I mean, this is something that's going to be revisited again because they're trying to now increase the age limit and bring it to 20 years old. Like if that happens, who benefits the most from that? Is it the players? Is it the schools? Is it the league? Who benefits the most from that?
I would say the schools benefit the most from that. They get the talented players like Andrew Wiggins, who could have played in the NBA straight out of high school and gotten checks earlier. It really comes down to that. The schools make money off these kids. They don't have to pay them other than scholarship money, which is nothing compared to the money they make off of merchandising, ticket sales, etc. Not to mention TV contracts, which is where the big money is at. So, the schools definitely make out on that. The NBA misses out on that. I don't know why they're trying to increase it. You look at all the big stars that came out of high school that were successful. You talk about the rare instances when they're not, but look at LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, all these guys coming straight out of high school, and there's no reason for them not to, in my opinion, and not.
Well, I could tell you, one of the reasons with the league is that it saves them money because they don't have to give these rookies big deals coming out of high school. Because if you go back to, the Grant Hill days, Jason Kidds, those guys, they get them big contracts, so the league can kind of scale back on the contracts that they have to give incoming players, and it's not on that. So now it's not on that pay scale anymore. You have to play to get paid. Basically, you have to show and prove. And if you look at it, there hasn't been more than 50 players that came out of high school, but like you said, I mean, look at the guys that have come out of high school. Then I mean, I know you got your Kwame Browns, but at the end of the day, Kwame Brown was in the league for a very long time. He wasn't good, but he was in the league.
Definitely collecting checks.
He was in the league
Look
for a
at the
long time.
first round picks that play in college that are busts.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, look at the 4-year players that come out of college and
look,
bust.
occasionally the real tragedy is when you have a player who has the potential to go in the NBA and then gets a serious injury as a freshman or a sophomore.
Exactly.
Like look at Joel Embiid not playing due to injury. That didn't happen necessarily in college, but I'm saying you could have
But he would have been in the league
instances.
if he could go straight from high school to the pros. He would have already had that contract. He may have been set up, already and good to go. But it's something that we're gonna have to.
But also on the flip side of that, what's going to happen is some of these players are going to end up going overseas and getting money, and then end up trying to come back to the States and trying to come back into the NBA like that. But
yeah, you lose out on your college privileges when you go and
yeah,
do
but
that,
I don't think they care about that because if I can go somewhere and collect a check for playing basketball for 2 years, and then that's going to be something that's going to be like me training for the NBA, and I'm in a whole other country and I'm still playing professionally.
I still think the NBA loses out. You don't have to pay a contract, but look at the money you're losing from getting a talent like that. Look at the endorsements. Like look at LeBron James out of high school.
They got enough talent though.
Yeah, but I mean, if Andrew Wiggins would have came came out of high school, that's one more year that another team would have him and been, possibly selling more tickets because of his name and the expectations
for a
that
bad team,
he.
for a team that doesn't sell tickets. I guess, yeah. I can see that. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit because I want to take a fan mail question that I want you guys to answer, and then we're gonna bring our guests onto the set. But this is actually a football question, so I'm gonna send this over to you, Statman. Gene from LA writes, "What do you guys think of 49ers linebacker Chris Borland giving back 3/4 of his signing bonus after the announcement of his retirement?"
Well, we talked about his retiring at such an early age, and the situation itself was a little bit weird. He's worried about his health issues. He's 24, but at the same time, he comes from money. He's very well off, and he barely played in the league. So if he's giving back money, maybe he feels bad because of the fact that, he's leaving his team. But at the same time, this isn't somebody that really needs the money at the same time. So it's not like somebody that's relying on that to last him the rest of his life and last him through retirement. So, I mean, it's a nice gesture, I guess, because, the team does feel a little bit screwed in the fact that he's out there retiring. They had high expectations from him, young, talented linebacker for the 49ers. The 49ers already lost a big hit with Willis retiring. And, I think the retirement itself is something that's really sending a shock around the league because other players in their 20s are going to say, like, what does this guy know that we don't know? There's obviously a lot of people that are going to still play for the love of the game, regardless of the risks involved. You have people playing on, not getting paid in like semi-pro leagues across the country just for the love of the game. So, but I do think that the fact that we have a few guys retiring early, it's going to make a lot of people, other young players around the league, think twice.
All right, and shout out to Gene. Shout out to the whole LA because they love us out there on the West Coast. They've been waiting for us to come out there, and do something out there. We might be going out there a little later this year, but we got to work some things out with the check-ins and the savings and get those things in order. But we do have our guest on the set right now. This author, she has written a very good book. It is called Laugh Now, Cry Later. It will be out in about a month from now. But Miss Tamika Coleman, how are you? Welcome to the show.
How you doing? Hi everybody. Right. Hi everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna take a break from the sports, and we're gonna go back in because we had some conversations, prior to Ms. Coleman coming on. She is a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and so we kind of been going back and forth. We were talking about Kevin Durant's toe injury and whatnot. He had the "I'm gonna get you sucker" toe.
Oh,
yeah.
I was actually watching that the other day
with
with the swollen toe.
So we're gonna get back into that in a minute because I told her we was gonna talk about it. But first, I want you to tell us a little bit about this book and what's going on.
Well, Laugh Now, Cry Later is a book about myself. I wrote it. It's about my life growing up with a drug-addicted mother, a father as a pastor, me being in the streets and just falling for every and anything that I shouldn't have, and it landed me in prison from a young girl. I've been in and out of prison, and now I'm a successful author, have 5 children, and I'm trying to, become a publisher and, all the good things that I should have been doing.
All right, ding ding. That's the sound on the bell right there. All right. So, how long did it take you to complete the book?
It took me 1 year.
Okay.
It took me 1 year. I was incarcerated in the federal prison, and I realized I had to do something positive, and with my time, so I wrote a book. I put all my feelings on paper.
But what made you want to write this book, though? I mean, I know you said you had a story behind it or whatever, but a lot of people, they have a story and they don't really necessarily care to tell it to the world. So what made you want to actually tell this story to the world?
Because I feel if I could reach other young girls that was in the same predicament as me, if I could help change somebody else's life and not make the mistakes that I've made, then it's worth it.
All right. Each one teach one.
Yes, definitely. I wish somebody would have taught me.
Well, sometimes we gotta learn the hard way.
Yes,
You know how it is.
Sometimes you have to learn from your own mistakes to get greater.
All right.
At what point did you realize that you wanted to be an author?
when they offered me 20 years. I was pregnant with my first child, and I figured that if I was going to be in jail for a long time, then she should know what her mother was really about and what she went through. So I decided to put it on paper so that my child could understand everything that I went through besides somebody else telling her. So that's why I actually wrote the book. So if I got 20 years, at least I know I have that to tell my side of the story.
And the title, Laugh Now, Cry Later, very interesting artwork that you have there as well. How did you come up with that?
Because, you know, the meaning is like, two sides, two faces. And I'm a female, and typically it's usually the man. And I decided that I wanted a female to wear a mask, because that's what I was, a female that had two sides of me, and a good side and a bad side. And I decided that was the perfect match for the book. So that's why I chose that artwork.
And when did you decide on the title itself? After you wrote the book?
Oh, before I wrote the book.
Okay.
Because I was crying at that time. But before I got to where I was at, I was laughing. So, you know, it coincides with everything in life. You know, sometimes you're laughing and then you're crying, and then sometimes you're crying and then you turn around and laugh. So, you know, that was the powerful message behind the title.
All right, so we are live right here on Bronxnet, Channel 68, Real Fans, Real Talk. If you guys are just joining us, Trip Young here with Mark the Statman Skevich, Sean Fontaine, and our special guest for today, Mr. Mika Coleman, who is the author of the book Laugh Now, Cry Later.
And of course, the fresh off HGH suspension, soon to be another HGH suspension for a recent.
Yeah. He missed us. He definitely missed us. Now, I do want to get back, because this is not the end. This is only the beginning of a trilogy.
Yes.
All right. So you want to tell us a little bit more about what's? I mean, we jumping way fast forward right now.
No, it's definitely that's a good, so everybody can look for it. Well, you know, the first book is Laugh Now, Cry Later. The second book is Still Crying, and the third book is All Cried Out. Okay. Meaning everybody has a beginning, a middle, and the end. So the beginning is what you're gonna now. Laugh Now, Cry Later is what got me to where I landed, obviously at the end. But it's the beginning of me growing up, my life, my struggles, and then part two is when I really start getting into crime and being in trouble and then going to jail, and then part three is having a baby in prison. So
we getting deep in
that's
this. And
definitely
Make it
definitely
hotter.
deep. Yes, it's definitely something
Right.
for everybody to want to read.
I want to get to the trilogy now. I got to read the other book. You have to have me finish writing, because I
Yes.
want to jump in.
You on book number 2 right now?
I'm on book number 2.
Okay.
Now, how far are you in on book number 2?
I'm actually 20 chapters in, so I have about 4 more chapters to go.
We working.
Yeah. So the Laugh Now, Cry Later is completely done. So it's going to be in the stores April 20th, and then I'm trying to give that a good 3-4 months, and then hit them with the second book.
Nice.
So, you know.
So what's the thought? What's the thought process is with you when you write down your life story? You know, are you sitting back laughing? Because it's laugh now, cry later. Are you sitting down laughing? Do you want to hold certain stuff back, or you want to give it all? Like what's happening?
I gave it all. I gave the truth. Everything that happened in the book happened in my life. The character, the main character is me. Okay. I just changed my name, obviously. But everything, all the experience that happened in the book is truthful. I wrote it. Those are my experience, everything that happened to me. And I wrote it because I didn't have nothing else to do at the time. Okay. But I'm so happy that I did write it, excuse my language, because I was able to get my true feelings. And I found the passion in something that out of misery, I found something that was good. So all bad things could turn into good.
Well, listen, it definitely did, because you got a book out in a month.
Yes.
You got the second book, 20 chapters in. You got the third book that'll be coming right after that. So a positive definitely came out of that situation. For everyone at home, if they do want to get at you, if they want to find out more about the book and where they can get it from, you want to give them your social media?
Yes. Well, I have Dirty Room Entertainment, which is my entertainment that I'm trying to come out with. But my Instagram is Dirty Room Entertainment. That's what you can find me at. And then my Facebook is DRE Laugh Now, Cry Later. And I also have a phone number that if they want to reach me, ask me
It's
questions.
on the screen right here. We got
Okay, you got the phone
yeah,
number.
well, that's the Instagram on the screen right now.
Okay.
We don't got. I don't know because you wouldn't want all the crazy.
Yeah, I don't want the crazy.
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
calling you,
because
yeah.
it's on my flyer, and when I did the flyer, I was like, oh man, I put my real phone number on it.
Yeah. Sometimes people will stop.
Man,
you,
yo,
so we don't
Tamika,
want
can
that.
Can I take you to dinner?
Exactly. No, it's only for if you want to purchase the book.
Yes.
We just hitting her up for no.
I know I'm
reason at all.
cute, but you know.
Yeah, all right. We're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to jump into some sports right now because there's a lot going on in the NBA. Like I said, your boy Kevin Durant has been shut down for the season.
Okay.
He got the big toe. His big toe is the big toe. He got the I'm going to get you sucker toe.
We ain't gonna do
He
that
got
to my boy.
He
though.
got that, but. Russell Westbrook is playing at an MVP level and he's carrying the team right now, so that's a positive for OKC if they can hold on to that 8th seed. Now, as far as them making it out of the first round of the playoffs, if they can hold on, I don't know about that one because they will be going up against the
Well, I know
Splash
about
Brothers.
that one. They won't.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Look who's talking, the Knicks fan.
Oh, man.
And
Shots
the,
fired.
And the Brooklyn Nets,
Hey, listen.
KD, KD and Westbrook could take your whole team by themselves.
Well,
They don't have
KD
KD
can't
right
take
now,
anybody right
Not
now
right
because
now.
he can't even walk right
Not right now, but before and after. It
He's
always
got
be
the same
before
amount of
after.
championships.
KD's back home
Dude.
somewhere. He back
Yeah.
home somewhere
In
in,
the past.
in Maryland eating some mumbo sauce or something
Yeah,
like that.
but
Whatever they be eating.
everybody at a certain point in the game gets injured.
You right.
And everybody starts off like Kevin Durant, and then they come
Are you speaking from a fan's perspective or a reality
I'm
perspective?
thinking from a fan's
All right,
perspective.
because you must not know that that Western Conference is kind of rough.
Yeah, it is, and everybody has their downtime.
You feel
Jordan
like-
had it.
Well, Jordan's
Black Mamba
downtime
had it.
was when he retired.
Yeah.
The 2 years he retired was his downtime.
And he came
but
back
then
with
when
the
he came
4-5.
back and won, yeah, and
Yeah,
won.
y'all is not right. Y'all not gonna do my team like that.
Listen, you know what? It's okay, but it's OKC too. But I'm sorry, but they're not gonna make it out the first round. Now, I will say this because I'm on the record of saying if Kevin Durant is healthy, I feel like they can beat Golden State in the first round of the playoffs, and which will be one of the biggest upsets, in a long time. But I don't know what we're gonna get from Kevin Durant. This is if he can make it back, with the I'm gonna get you sucker toe. I don't know if they can, do anything because it might be too little, too late. Because now you still gotta work him back in. I mean, I know he's, arguably the second best player in the league, but the chemistry right now is Westbrook. So now you have to incorporate Kevin Durant back into that system. I don't know if they could, if they can do that, at this point now. So we got to see. We got to wait and see.
No, see, you're having too much doubt. You cannot have doubt against OKC.
Now,
Yeah, because Westbrook, at the end of the day, Westbrook is a beast, but that's what he's paid to do. He's supposed to cut. He's not really doing nothing that he's not supposed to do right now at this moment because your other star player is hurt. So you're supposed to take up for your team. You're supposed to carry your team.
now he is, and I'll grant you.
So that's not really. He doesn't get that many points for that.
What we have here is something that we experience with Statman a lot with the Knicks, which is called blind fanism. Where you let your love for the team, make you say things that aren't going to actually come true and aren't going to happen. So I need,
But that's what a real fan does. You never give up.
Yeah, you never give up. But at some point, you got to be a realist too.
Yes, I'm being a
And
realist,
say-
and maybe not this
So do
year,
you-
but you can't count them out.
She not trying to hear
Do
until
you
they
think
out of
that
the
they'll
playoffs.
get out of the first round without Kevin Durant?
We waiting
Honestly,
on it.
no.
Okay.
Honestly, no. Honestly, you need
We
Kevin
appreciate
Durant. That's the truth. You need Kevin Durant. I mean, Westbrook is the man right now, but you need Kevin Durant.
Okay.
All right, so we good. Now, Statman, can the Knicks win an NBA championship with their current roster?
No.
What about the Brooklyn
He
Nets?
like what?
Oh, but see, the difference is I'm a realist with the Nets. I'm a Nets fan because I'm from Brooklyn and I have to support my borough no matter what. So, but I've never said that I think the Nets is gonna win the championship. I never say any of that. I'm a realist with the Nets, and I'll tell you even with my other teams, whether it be football or baseball, whatever, when the Yankees aren't playing well, I'm a realist with them too. I'll say that they're not gonna win.
I don't know. I think the past couple of years you've been stuck on saying they're gonna make the playoffs
Well,
and still gonna win with the
They're not making
Yankees.
it.
So
Come on, Jay-Z brought him to Brooklyn and he left.
Well,
So what that tell
he
you?
left to get money in other
Flipping.
places. Yeah,
He's flipping.
Jay-Z now
Right.
has Kevin Durant and a couple of other big names under his Rock
He
Nation
got my
Sports.
cousin. He got my cousin Robinson Cano over there and
He
everything.
just bought Miguel Cotto. So
Yeah.
Jay-Z is, he's making money in other ways. But like he said in the song, he still got his seats.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know
he's still good. Him, Beyonce, and Tata is still courtside almost every game. So they doing all right. But we got to jump into Steve Nash. He did retire this past week. He made it official. So happy trails to Steve Nash. He had a great career, 2 MVPs. He didn't get to the promised land, but he still had a great career. One of the best point guards to do it. He had some great years with the Suns. Didn't work out in LA too tough.
No.
But other than that, shout out to Steve Nash though on that one.
It sucks every time you see a great player like Steve Nash, and you think back in the days, Charles Barkley, guys who tried to stick it out with their team and win there, but it just wasn't realistic for them. And then they Barkley tried to go with the Rockets with Drexler and Olajuwon. That
He missed the
wasn't
boat.
enough.
He missed. Yeah, he missed.
He was a day late and a dollar short, as they say.
You got to do that before Jordan
Mr.
comes back.
4-5. Mr. 4-5 came back in the clutch.
Yeah, he wasn't smart enough with that.
And then
decision.
Nash trying to go to the Lakers with Dwight and Powell
that
and
just-
Kobe, and that looked good on paper, but
Until everybody
it didn't-
started joining the AARP club, as you like to say.
Yeah, basically.
All of injuries started kicking in. But Stephon Marbury, he's won his third championship
Vaseline
in China.
himself.
He's not eating Vaseline. He's actually winning championships out there in China. So shout out to Stephon Marbury. That's Coney Island, Brooklyn, right there. Shout out to him. We got there's a lot going on, man. And then we got to listen. What do you guys think? Can the Cavs make it to first place? Do they have a chance, or is it completely a wrap? Do the Hawks have it locked up? Because they've been losing.
They like 8
as
games
of- as of
behind the
late.
Hawks
Eight
right
games.
now.
Yeah, I think it's too big of a deficit.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Hawks are gonna wet the bed that bad.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy if they lose that first place.
Yeah, they're kind of in a comfortable spot. They was somewhere around 4 or 5. So going up to about they're on the 8-game winning streak right now. They're like 8 games behind the Hawks. I mean, it's not like they're in a bad place right now, and then they on all cylinders right now.
Do they need to be in first place?
I don't think they really care.
I mean, they wouldn't either. I mean, I don't think that the Hawks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals,
Yeah.
so they'll still have, even with second place, they'll have home court.
Who gives them the most trouble though? In that 7th seed, is it Miami? Is it Indiana?
I'd probably say Miami, but even without Bosch, but
Okay, I might go with Indiana because they've been struggling with Indiana.
I think
Always.
I
It's always
think
been Indiana.
well, I think
Yeah.
the Hawks are out in the second round.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they'll be past the first round regardless, but I think they're out in the second.
So do the Cavs make it to the finals?
Unfortunately,
Come on, Stan, man. I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
Unfortunately, I think so. I mean, it's hard to go up against them, but they will
Thank you,
lose.
Stan. Yo, man, this has been a great day. This is Stan. I gotta shake you. Can I shake your hand on this one? Stan?
I'm gonna leave you hanging with that one.
Is the Knicks gonna make it?
Oh,
Do you not watch sports? Do you not know the answer to
the
that
cannon.
well, we just asked
why is
the
that still your
questions. Listen, it's good. It's all good. Stat man, this has been a great show for me. If this is my last show, I can retire on a good note because of those 2 questions right there. Thank you. Listen, it's about that time. No, we're gonna jump into shot for shot. We are going. Why don't we let our guests, if you want to throw on the ref jersey, you want to judge shot for shot this week for
definitely.
us. All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
And I believe who's in the ring this week. I'm not even sure who's in the ring this week.
Well, Sean with the HGH scandals screw things up. It's been
Yeah.
a long time since we had a shot for shot on the
man.
show.
All right, so
I'll let him go back into the ring against you. We'll
commish
crown a
had me
new
out,
champion.
man.
Okay,
I'll read the questions out, and our guest will be the judge.
sounds good.
Because I think she's got a bias against me since I'm taking shots at me. I don't want. All right. The way shot for shot works, ladies and gentlemen, 5 questions unless we go to overtime. 2 contestants, 1 judge. Whoever the judge agrees with gets the point. If both contestants agree, no point is awarded. Starting off with the first question, going with March Madness. Which number 1 seed will be the next to fall? Duke, Kentucky, or Wisconsin? We will go Sean going first since he
Listen, man, you already know where I'm going with this.
I think I know where you're both going with it.
We're
but-
going to say Wisconsin. You know, we got Duke is playing Gonzaga and West Virginia playing Kentucky. We know those two are not going to happen. Wisconsin, I'm pretty faithful in my Tar Heel boys. So. Sorry.
Well, I'm not going to say which round it is, but I do think it's going to be Wisconsin next. As far as the number 1 seed is left, Jaleel Okafor is playing lights out right now, and then Kentucky. What can I say?
Even if they make the Final Four, they got to play Kentucky. And
Exactly.
they'll be out,
Yeah. So for that part, so we're making your job a little easier right now. Nobody gets the point on that one.
Okay.
Okay. This question specially designed for you, I think. Over under 20% chance OKC makes it out of the first round of the playoffs if Kevin Durant cannot return.
I mean, that's 20% is low, but I still got to go with the under, man. The Splash Brothers are something, they are a force to be reckoned with, and no Kevin Durant means, as Vince McMahon's theme music goes, no chance. That's what you got.
Yeah, I mean, if it was... go ahead, Sean.
Oh, well.
I'm not the judge, so...
Over in the West, what you got? Golden State in the 1 and Memphis in the 2? It's not looking too promising.
Well,
I'm
they
sorry.
ain't getting to that 7th seed, so we don't
Yeah,
have to
if
worry
they were
about
getting to 7 seed, then it might be
but
something
I'm
else.
just saying. I'm just hypothetically. I mean, and they were battling for that 8th spot.
Exactly.
So I'm about to agree with you on that one, Trip. You know, I don't think that's going to happen there.
All right, so we still easy. We got agreement going on. We're not making your job too hard. Statman.
All right. Which veteran playing at the Veterans Combine has a better shot at making it back to the NFL? Tim Tebow, Michael Sam, or Brady Quinn?
So I mean, well, Tim Tebow, I just don't see him as somebody that's trying to play anything other than quarterback. He's a great athlete, but quarterback, no. Brady Quinn, possibly, but I think Michael Sam has the best chance because he has more. He has something to prove. You know, he's a fairly young player. Two teams picked him up. He ended up getting cut, and I just think he has something to prove. You know, a lot of teams they need linebackers. A lot of people are retiring. A lot of people are getting in trouble. So I think Michael Sam might possibly have the best chance of actually playing because he's going to play his heart out. He really wants to play, and I think he has a whole lot to prove.
It's rough. I'm not even counting Tebow in this one. I just think nobody's scooping up Tim Tebow. It's over for that. But see, Michael Sam, if the whole, his sexuality wasn't such a big deal, I feel like he would have been in the NFL right now. So I gotta go with Brady Quinn because he's a quarterback and quarterbacks get hurt all the time, so people need backups. I just think that, with Michael Sam, he has the talent, and I feel like if he was going to be on the team, he would have been on the team already. I think this is just, certain PR moves that they have to do, but I just don't think he's gonna get back on the team. So I got to go with Brady Quinn and the QB. He's the QB. They need him. QBs go down every week. So.
All right, Judge, who you got?
So I pick whoever.
Who you agree with the most?
Who I agree with the most. You a hater.
Is it Brady Quinn or Michael Sam? Who do you think is going to get there? Who made the most compelling argument?
Who'd you agree with?
Honestly, you made the most compelling argument. Honestly.
Slip the ref a 20 or something like that.
What can I say, man? Trip Young.
I thought you pointed to me and I didn't even say anything. I was like, I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, I'll take those cool points.
All right. Well, then, I guess
I do want to add, though, both Tim Tebow and Michael Sam have controversy surrounding them when a team signs them. So that's, I do agree with Tripp as far as Brady Quinn. I think Tim Tebow didn't get a fair shot. Like, he was a winning quarterback. He wasn't a great quarterback, but he got wins. He got a playoff win, too, an upset win. So, he's just not getting a fair shot because of all the media surrounding him and the religion and all that stuff.
He's with Pacquiao right now anyway, so he's good. Yeah. He's chilling with Pacquiao training camp.
Yeah, Michael Sam, you got the media that will ask questions that have nothing to do with football, and that's what teams don't want. They don't want that extra burden, so...
Hey, I just say sign my boy Larry Grant. That's all I got to say. He played with the Niners. He played with the Rams. Just bring my boy back, man.
All right, question number 4. Trip Young leading 1-0 with 2 questions to go. Does Steve Nash retire as a top 5 point guard all time?
I'm gonna have to say negative on that one, because I mean, we talking about all time. You got Magic, you got John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas. Who else we got?
Havlicek.
You know, you got there's so many points. I'm trying to really think. I mean, honestly, I don't even feel like he was better than Jason Kidd. You know, I think Jason Kidd is ahead of him. I mean, so I can't to say
2 MVPs. I mean, I think I'd put him ahead of Jason Kidd at least.
2 MVPs, yeah, but
Jason Kidd got a championship.
Jason Kidd does have a championship.
Yeah, but as while he was like 50 years old.
I mean, yeah, but
he wasn't
same thing for
the
Juwan
star.
Howard.
Honestly, I don't feel like Nash deserved one of those MVPs. But to finish in the top 5 all time, that's a lot of players, man. Nah, I can't give him a top 5 all time. Maybe top 10, but I don't know about top 5, man. Right now, nah, I can't give him that. I can't give him top 5 right now.
Sean?
I'm not gonna give you no long drawn out answer. I'm just gonna say I got to say the Nano. He was a great player. You know, he's retiring. Unfortunately, he didn't get a championship. But top 5 definitely not. We're talking about the NBA. This is a long
There's a lot of players, a lot of point guards.
We're talking about old time here. All right.
I'm
voice.
with you on that. I say top 10. I mean, you guys didn't mention Oscar Robinson either.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Mr.
So
double. So, you know, what are you gonna?
Maybe Nelly Furtado will put him in the top 5. MVP like Steve Nash.
she's the real MVP. As your boy Kevin Durant would say.
Right.
Stat man, last one.
All right, Sean, last chance to break the tie. Over or under 30% chance Kentucky finishes the NCAA tournament undefeated.
You know, if I was one of those people in the world where I would just be biased, I'm a diehard Carolina fan. Let me just get that out there. You know, when I was younger, I went to the Tar Heels football camp.
Can we play the violin while he
I went to the Tar Heels football camp. You know, I met Dre Bly. This is back when Mac Brown was there. But, you know, so that's the whole tie to UNC. But the realist in me just knows that everybody on Kentucky's squad can score. There's savages out there on that court.
The bench, too.
Yeah.
The bench, too. Even the water guy and the student assistant can score, all right? So, yeah, I just don't see anybody beating these guys. If they lose.
And the fan sitting in the front row.
The water boy got a jump shot.
The person that mops the floor.
He can dunk. I seen his hops.
He got a trick shot, all right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to.
The one that washes the jerseys.
Everybody.
Taking them right into the washing machine. Nothing but wash.
I mean, they had to debate, you know, which team was better, that team or the team with John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, and Eric Bledsoe. You know, but that's a really good team. I got to agree. Although I'm still going with Duke to win it all, but we're talking about percentages here, so I think it's over 30% chance because they're really good. So I got to agree on that one.
All right, final score 1-0 Trip Young. And I believe she pointed at me, though, so I actually got the 1 point, so I beat both of you. I didn't even play. How you like that?
You got half of I got beat by 2 halves of the point.
Yeah. So,
Check the replay, ladies.
I will take my crown back, and you know, as the shot for shot winner, I will take that and run with it. And Sean, we will have something for you next week that you will enjoy wearing.
Oh no, we got to get something for him right now.
Do we have something?
I'm gonna see if we can pull something because we changed the rules.
Oh,
He's gonna be suspended and
It's
all
fine.
that.
It's
We
fine.
need to go and take care of something.
Might just use some HGH just to
Go
suspend it.
over this
On
day in
purpose.
sports history, and
Yeah.
I'll look something for
We're
him.
going to go into this day in sports history really quick. In 1941, LIU, which is my alma mater, beats Ohio U 56-42 for the NIT basketball championship. That was the time when it was good. But that was in 1941. Fontaine.
In 1961, New York Senate approves $55 million for baseball stadium at Flushing Meadows.
In 1975, Muhammad Ali TKO's Chuck Wepner in 15 for heavyweight boxing championship.
All right, and in 1975, the greatest, Muhammad Ali, TKO's Chuck Wepner in 15. Oh, excuse me.
That's my part. That's my part.
Listen, we live.
You live.
I'm sorry. You didn't give me that point. I'm
You
sorry.
about to be in the next book, son. You better get it together.
We got. Oh wow, Statman, that's cold. What you doing right now?
Wearing the
Who's best
Giants
coach?
right there.
They already lost DeMarco Murray. That's cold, Statman. What you just did right
Oh,
there.
man.
But I'm
Gotta
not
be
mad
done.
at all. I'm gonna say happy birthday to Peyton Manning. You did not get your
all
Super
right.
Bowl
Fits
win.
on you like a
But,
half.
That's because I just cut my hair. I'm growing it back, though. Y'all see that?
Happy birthday to Peyton Manning, TJ Ford, and Chris Bosh, and get well soon to Chris Bosh as well. You guys know he was in the hospital a couple of weeks ago, still dealing with that. So get well to Chris Bosh, and happy birthday to you as well. And we're going to get back into some more sports. We're going to get into that. Because now, boxing, is going to be hot for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months.
Shazam.
Until May 2nd when that bell can we get the bell?
Oh, I can turn my phone
now
off.
you
Ding, 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 ding,
your
ding,
time
ding,
is
ding.
way off, Sean. All right, but until May 2nd when that bell rings, we're gonna be doing a lot of boxing talk. Mayweather, Pacquiao, and since we do have a guest on the show, I know we got some controversy here. Ms. Coleman, because you do not think that Floyd Mayweather is going to win this fight.
I don't. No, I don't want him to win, but I don't.
So you don't think so? You don't want him to win, but you think he is going to win?
No, I don't want him to win, and I don't think he's going to win.
Okay, why?
Why? Because I just think it's his time to lose. And I think because, I think because Pacquiao is ready, and Pacquiao is hungry, and I think that Mayweather just does too much. And last time we had a conversation, you told me that you didn't think that Mayweather was running, and I think so. Because look how long it took for him to finally accept the fight of Pacquiao. What took you so long? If you're the greatest fighter of all times, it don't have nothing to do with money because he's rich, beyond rich.
Yeah, but
But you can
Pacquiao
always use
felt
more.
that it should be 50-50, and Mayweather feels that he's the bigger name. So it was always, I'm not giving you 50% of the fight. I'm the champ. I'm undefeated. You're not.
And after you
Why do
kiss
you
the
deserve
canvas.
50%?
Yeah, and after you get.
But at the end of the day, Pacquiao has made his name for himself also. It's not like Pacquiao is a nobody.
He
Yeah,
has,
just
but
not-
when somebody makes you plank
Yeah.
on the canvas, when you
His-
land down
his-
flat,
man.
His name
Yes.
became bigger once
got
they
knocked
started
out?
talking about
Yeah.
him being able to beat Mayweather. That's when his name really became big.
Yeah.
So Mayweather's name was big even before that. But
It wasn't an ugly jump shot that Pacquiao has.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fancy endorsement.
Mayweather just fights people he know he can beat.
Everybody?
Just about. Yes. He picks and chooses what fights that he knows that he can probably beat.
yeah, no. See, here's the thing. Because people will say this, but every time Mayweather
people
has a
thought
fight,
Alvarez
But
had a
Mayweather
chance
doesn't
to
knock
beat him.
nobody out.
well,
That's 'cause he's-
Mayweather win. Hold up. If you're gonna express, like my girlfriend was saying the other day on the phone with you, if you're gonna impress me, you have to knock somebody out.
He did after somebody kissed him.
You're only you're TK. You're not. You just by default or whatever. You're not winning by a knockout.
yeah, but I also said
gets a
to
few
you,
knockouts
Pacquiao
every now.
hasn't knocked anybody out in a couple of years either.
But he's
Alright.
gotten knocked out.
Yeah, but he has gotten knocked out. But I tell you, ever since
This
that
is true.
whole speculation came up about Pacquiao maybe using some enhancement drugs, Pacquiao hasn't had a knockout either. He's won convincingly, but honestly, the people that he beat convincingly his last two fights after being knocked out, they were no names, and he didn't even knock those guys out. He just won convincingly.
I mean, the great part about it is Mayweather, people say he's overly defensive, and Pacquiao, they say he's overly aggressive. So you're going to have somebody that's aggressive and defensive going at it, and you're going to have a left-hander against the right-hander. It's just going to
Possibly,
be...
what did it say, his first time fighting the southpaw or whatever, so.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, would give a huge advantage for Pacquiao, because Mayweather's just not used to it, so...
No, he who was the southpaw? He was.
Yeah,
we're
but-
talking about
Well, I mean,
recent,
obviously not with the- with the
It's
speed
rare.
of
It's rare
Pacquiao, yeah.
where he fights a southpaw, so
But-
that's going to give him an advantage. I'm sure right now Mayweather's practicing with, sparring with southpaws, to prepare for the fight, so he gets used to it, because it's an awkward. If you're not used to it, it's a whole different animal. So,
But I tell you,
which
one
will
thing,
give Pacquiao
It's
somewhat
gonna be a
of an
memorable
advantage.
fight, no matter who
there's
wins.
a lot of money that's being generated from this fight. The records have been broken at the gate. They're talking about 74 million that they're just making off of the gate.
1,500 for the cheap tickets,
Yeah,
right?
if the cheap tickets
Yeah.
is 1,500.
250,000 to sit ringside.
Spending your tax
You're
money out here,
talking
people.
about-
Don't do
That's
it.
your whole
Yeah.
life, and you could die and come back and still pay for that ticket.
I'm telling you.
You're talking about the price of a house in most parts, in a lot of parts
Oh.
of the country,
Yeah.
the price of an exotic car, or you could sit at ringside and watch this
I
fight.
mean,
like-
I was gonna do it, because white people.
I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it, whether or not I want to
But
do
I
it.
said, you know what? I'm just gonna sit this one out, unless they want me to come commentate ringside. If Harold Letterman, he's also a friend of the show. If he's gonna do it, then I'll probably go ringside with him. But you know how it is. So I'd like to scale things back a little bit. I don't want the people who thinking I'm just out here spending frivolous.
Yeah, because then when it's not like real fans, real talk.
Yeah,
If we're
exactly.
there, it's
Yeah.
like a little bit more.
Yeah, so we probably just have a fight
lavish
party and watch the fight. Get some wings or something. But that,
like real fans do.
Exactly. This is
You
real
know,
fans,
I'm
real
gonna
talk.
be very excited to see that, because that's he always fights around my birthday, so I really enjoy watching him win. A lot of times, but
I did invite you to the fight party, so you can
I'm
watch
definitely coming,
Pacquiao lose.
and it's okay if he lose. I mean, none of their millions is going to my pocket. So I mean,
you might put a bet out there. You might.
Yeah, you put
Hey,
some money
I'm just saying.
I just have faith in Pacquiao, and I just, the best player, whoever wins, wins. The best fighter.
All right, well, listen, we're going to see you on May 2nd. Like I said, this is a topic we're going to be discussing, especially when we have guests coming on the show. All right, and I want you guys to definitely check us out on the web so that we can keep you guys informed on that realfansrealtalk.com website, or hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at realfantalk. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/realfansrealtalk. And we're going to be talking about this for a long time.
We're probably gonna have a rematch too after it's all said and done, which is going to
Exactly.
make it even better. We get two monumental Mayweather-Pacquiao fights.
There you go.
So sorry, Amir Khan.
We got another fan mail question coming in from Queens, Henry, and he writes, if the Jets draft Marcus Mariota, do you guys think they make it back to the playoffs? I mean, the AFC is still rough, but he does give them a good chance. If he comes in and actually does well. I can't say until I see him play. But they got Brandon Marshall over there, so they got some receivers. Eric Decker, he's coming back healthy, and they did bring back Reavers. So a quarterback is something that will give them a huge
And
bump.
Cromartie.
And Cromartie
But who
also
are you
came
throwing
out.
to?
That's the
Brandon Marshall. And
Aside
Eric
from
Decker.
Brandon
I don't
Marshall.
think it's necessarily Mariota. I think they'll make it with or without him, just because of all the other pieces they picked up.
Yeah.
They went 8-8 with Geno Smith 2 years ago, and
Yeah, and that's- they
la-
didn't have a defense like they did now.
exactly. Now they have a lot more pieces that they added to the situation. Mariota could be a flop, just like other like Geno Smith was, or other quarterback. I don't think he will
Geno
be.
Smith wasn't rated as high as Mariota.
Yeah, I don't think he will be, but at the same time, I think with all the other pieces they have, that they'll be all right with or without Mariota.
If they continue to play good against those teams like New England.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
they're a wild card. I mean, New England's winning that division. I
course.
seriously doubt the Jets are winning that division, but there's still a pretty good chance of the wild card, I think, next season.
Yeah. Why? Because we have an author on the show, so I want to shout out a young author, Monet Davis, Little League World Champion, one of the best pitchers in Little League World Series history. She has her new book. It is being released. Remember My Name by Monet Davis. So shout out to her.
Shout out to Monet.
She's doing her thing. And once again, Ms. Coleman, want to give you a chance to just to let the people know where they can get the book at. Don't give out the phone number. We don't want them just calling you just to be calling you.
Okay.
Don't give them the phone.
yo,
Just give
Tamika.
give the Instagram, give the Twitter,
Well, actually, the book comes out on Amazon and everything next month, April 20th. Excuse me. You can reach me at DRE Laugh Now. That's my Facebook, and Dirty Room Entertainment is my Instagram.
All right. So y'all better go
Thank
get that
you.
book, because it's definitely
Go get that book,
a
please.
good read. And y'all better be on the lookout for part 2 when that comes. We're gonna keep y'all posted. You know how Real Fans Real Talk do. So we definitely gonna keep y'all posted on what's going on. All right. Oh, I see you got something in your hands over
Oh,
there.
yes,
I wanted to know
definitely.
what was going
I
on.
didn't know you was here, but
That's
I got
fine.
one for
So
you
you
next
got-
time I'm here.
You got to see, because
So I
you got something
definitely-
get suspended.
They gotta be
Yes.
nice snug shirts.
I definitely got my shirts, you know, that I have for the shirts, for the book, you know,
Hold
Laugh
them
Now,
up,
Cry
Joey,
Later.
just hold them up.
Excuse me. So here you go.
Exactly.
Thank
She-
you,
hey,
and this is
listen,
for you.
When people bring gifts to the set, you
Thank
know,
you. And you better wear my shirt because I'm coming for you.
Yo.
And definitely, you know, I had to give him his special one because he likes red.
And people how she brought
We got the real fans, real talk colors there, black and red right
Definitely,
there.
black and
You
red.
got this red,
Definitely.
yeah.
Exactly.
You
Listen,
big and back me
Definitely.
and
You
ball.
see this? Now you know he wanted the red, so here you go.
Exactly.
And next time I come, I'll have whatever color you
I
ask me
I keep
for.
telling Sean Fontaine he got to stop getting caught using the
Hey.
steroids because that's he gets.
I got my
suspended.
protein
Thank you,
over at my
thank
desk
You
now,
should get
you
him
know.
blue so it matches with his
Hold on,
favorite
hold on.
Giants
I
hat.
gotta show-
I'm
I
a
gotta show
Cowboys
this-
fan, so
I gotta hold that shirt. Can we get that shirt on the camera again, please? Hold that up. Hold that up. Where my camera?
camera's
at?
over there. You-
Why y'all acting up? Let me get that on the camera right now.
Can we
that
get
up, man.
a switch on the
Nah,
shot
man,
there?
like, there we go. Yeah, show
Oh,
them
well,
shirts, yo.
the full shot, please.
Laugh
The one
now,
with
cry
both
Thank you,
shirts.
thank you. Give my shirt
That's
some
all right,
love.
you know.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
Hold that up, man.
Show
got
them.
it.
Tell them give my shirt some love.
We gotta show that shirt off right
Thank
there,
you.
man. That's a beautiful thing when we get gifts. I love getting gifts. No, because everybody. Shout out to our little league team. They bought us, shirts. That's why we represent our little league baseball team. My man H2O, he got us the basketball shirt. So we always show love when people send us gifts. So we're gonna be wearing that on the set. I might get a pair of Jordans to wear with this.
Yo, you know
They
what's
got the
funny?
new joints out.
I ran into a lot of people that know Haran. Me and him know a lot of people out there. It's a small world, man. But yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank
It
you so
definitely
much.
is.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It was an excellent time. And I can't wait to come back.
Y'all make sure y'all get that book.
That's right. Get my book.
We coming for you.
We're gonna jump into the final thought segment of the show. Miss Coleman, I'm gonna let you start it off with your final thought.
My final thought is that I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I had a nice time on the show. It was very informative. And I like to come back. And I wish that would have me back.
You have to wear a Knicks shirt.
A Knicks shirt? I guess I ain't coming back. But for you, I will wear a Knicks shirt.
Nice.
Statman.
I'm just going to say let's go Rangers once again, just like the top of the program, first in the league. They're bringing the cup back to New York where it belongs. Long time coming, over 20 years, and I'm looking forward to the Rangers kissing the cup this year.
Sean Fontaine.
Let's go Tar Heels, man. Let's go Tar Heels.
You're begging there.
Let's go.
Listen, Blue Devils all the way for myself, Trip Young, Mark the Statman Skevage, Sean Fontaine, and the lovely Miss Coleman. Y'all better get that book. Real Fans, Real Talk. Put the stamp on it. So y'all better go get that. And we will see you guys next week. Man, we doing this, man. It's Real Fans, Real Talk. Best program series. Recognize who y'all dealing with out there, man. And we gonna
Hi,
see y'all
KD.
next time. Listen,
I got some slippers for you.
Yeah, get some
Definitely got some slippers for you.
He needs some slippers. I told you that.
Give him a massage.
You got that pinky toe shot on like all them things.
Once again, Patrick has made a lot of great shots, and if you remember, probably the year before that, he's the one that made a shot, to take us there. So, I don't pick the negatives. I had fun with the Knicks. One thing I respected about the Knicks is whether we had cliques or whatever. Once we stepped on the floor, it was one uniform team ready to take our prisoners. We just didn't allow it in our house. You wasn't gonna come in and get nothing easy. And everybody just tuned in, and that's what I liked about, the Knicks, whether we hung out together or not, didn't really matter. Once we was on the court, it was a unified force.
So who was your closest teammate at the time?
Charles Oakley, John Starks, there was a few cool ones there, but that's the thing about the team, was nobody really trying to be this or that, we were just uniform and trying to get a championship, and it manifested itself on the court. It manifested itself in practice. We had hard practices, no out of bounds, so it was a beautiful thing. We knew that every time we stepped on the court, we was going to get maximum effort, whether we won the game or not. The crowd was going to know that we played hard.
All right, now, being in New York, this is one of the biggest party towns. Did your life outside of the Garden affect your play on the court?
No, I probably could have played 20-something years had I not went out, but it never affected me on the court. I was a different breed. You know, I knew what I was there for, and I went and gave my 100% effort every time I stepped on the floor. So no, I didn't allow it to, affect my play on the court. But we had fun because New York is a fun city.
How did you prepare yourself for life after basketball?
First, I went through my little years of my retirement and enjoying, not having to get up and practice and this and that. And everybody asked me, "Did you miss it?" I said, "Man, I played 15 years. Played every summer. So in basketball years, I probably played about 20-some years anyway. Because I didn't work out with trainers or whatever. I played ball all summer. But as you retire."